Well, even with all the buildings along the Las Vegas Strip and all the action here, this is one of the city's biggest attractions. Allegiant Stadium opened back in 2020.
Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Miami Dolphins
and the Las Vegas Raiders. And off we go from Las Vegas. And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
It's hard to have vision as a runner and find a hole when there's nothing but defenders in your way. They stacked that one up really well. But give him credit. Instead of trying to bounce it out and turn it into a big play, which might have turned into a big loss, kind of just took his medicine there and took the 1 yard.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. They'll set up a throw. And the Raiders have got him.
Max Crosby blowing up the play and getting the sack. Just 2 plays in, and Charles already their first sack defensively.
Yeah, how about that? That didn't take long, did it? And now they look at 3rd down, and that's another time to try and go and get the quarterback too.
I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And pressure coming, and they got him once again.
What a great job getting pressure here on the first drive. 3 plays and already 2 sacks.
And that pressure has been intense right from the beginning. And I'm telling you, if they don't make an adjustment in play calling and protection, it'll go from intense to relentless.
It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. They start the drive with White, and he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
This defense for the Dolphins, they were excellent a week ago in that victory over Indianapolis.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
From midfield, here's Carr. Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Carr going to try and throw on 3rd down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end.
And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards. The Raiders at 6-4 now on the year. They were losers their last time out. Trying to get back in the win column, but obviously not an easy task here in a hostile environment.
Yeah, always tough to win away from home. But sometimes what you do is you use these types of games as bonding experiences and carry that into the contest.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw again. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller.
And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive.
Carr, a quick throw. It's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 27. Well, they kept it simple there, CD, only needing the short gain to move the chain, so they didn't want to go with a deep throw. They just go with that safer, shorter throw and able to convert.
Nothing wrong with that at all, partner. Check the box, right? Make sure you pick up the first down. Offense is getting established. You're moving the ball. You're not turning it over. Check.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. A great play there with touchdown number 20 on the year.
And the Raiders put the Knights' first points on the board as they take the early lead.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive.
They are coming off the game last week, which was a very interesting game in Charles. Ultimately, it ended in a tie.
And that's difficult on teams because, let's face it, Brandon, they just don't know how to react. I mean, who does? Did you win? No. Did you lose? No. Because when you win, you jump up and down. Life's good. When you lose, you set your face in that stone look so that you show that you weren't hurt. I think it's one of those things that at the end of the year, you find out just how you're supposed to feel about that tie. Did it help you or hurt you in the standings? Then you'll know what you really should have felt that game.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. And now they'll run it here off tackle. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
And the Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down. Back to throw here. And that is incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things, get back to what works.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away. On the return, Johnson.
Good coverage there holds him to just a 2-yard return following a punt of 44.
And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. The drive starts with a run by White. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now Carr. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Cannon. Oh, he's got some breathing room.
And he's going to be pushed out of bounds inside the 10-yard line.
A big play there on the catch and run. 65 yards.
Well, and this is where quarterbacks' passing numbers sometimes get a little bit more inflated than they should, because this is a short little pass, but it goes for big yardage.
Yeah, and we see this so often. There's excellent coverage downfield, so the quarterback makes a nice decision. Just flip it out to the flat and see what the running back can do. Plenty of space.
And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. A great effort there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. Carlson now to add the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. As the Raider kickoff unit now, as they will send this one away. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. Throw left side complete. That's Hill. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Working with 2nd and 5 now.
He finds his man, complete. That's Connor. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll short a defense.
Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds.
The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first 2 drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
Yeah, they're almost pushing them to the brink, aren't they, partner? Almost to the point now where it's a loss of words for me, which I know would excite all of our viewers, but you're just now supposed to see that type of dominance so quickly in a game like this. Everything they've done has been working so far. Offense, defense, you name it, it's going well for them.
It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down.
Well, that's what they have to do more of defensively, not just getting sacks, but they have to keep getting in his face, not let him get his feet set and deliver. He's been carving them up previously.
Yeah, already has a couple of touchdown passes. About time they put a few grass stains on that jersey.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
On 3rd and long, it's Carr. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
So on 4th down, here's A.J. Cole to punt for the Raiders.
Tyreek Hill on the return. The Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 34-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. Let's see if they can do better here on this drive. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. Pushes past him. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. He'll take this to the 46.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
On 2nd down, they'll run it here. And he's going to be close to a 1st down as he gets this to the Raiders' 39. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
And looked like some movement there. Let's get the call.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
Well, that's a tough, costly penalty because now it makes it 3rd and 6 after the false start. They'll look to throw.
And this almost intercepted. Not sure he saw the free safety that time. But lucky, incomplete. That'll bring up 4th down.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
On 4th down, punt coming from Braden Mann.
Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt.
Sanders' kick is good. Well, Charles, the NFL record is 66 yards. That was 5 shy of that, but only a handful of guys have ever connected from 61 or deeper, and he can add his name to the list.
Yeah, more and more guys are trying it. That doesn't mean the success rate has gone up. That is a long kick. Guaranteed, when he turns on his phone after the game, a ton of congratulatory texts will be awaiting him.
And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
Throwing on first down is Carr. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
Good, strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 43. Carr going to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Carr. Thomas brings it in. And they'll be stopped at the 28. On a play that started at the 14, they pick up 14.
Well, we can talk about it like it's just a basic route, but how about the timing on this one? Lined up on the right, runs a deep in route, and how about the throw? Right on the money. Bam, puts it right in there and on his hands. Nice completion. Really good pickup.
Carr now on 1st down. The left side throw complete to Adams. And they're going to be set up now with a ball at the 13-yard line. He's been the forgotten man in this first half. Not a guy you want to forget. Not only his first catch, first time they've targeted him.
That doesn't make any sense, does it? Because those are the types of plays that he provides. When he does come alive, when they do look his way, not only is it a big catch, it's a first down.
First down, here's White. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. Now, Carr again. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. 3rd touchdown pass now for Derek Carr, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Carlson on for the PAT. And it's 21-3. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. At the 23, it's 2nd and 12. They'll set up to throw. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
And he fires one that's intercepted. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football.
Well, it's not the first time we've seen him give one up here during his rookie season. And in this case, zone coverage forced the mistake. He's made some strides week to week in how he's handling the different type of coverages that he's seeing. But clearly, there's some growing still to do.
Now after the INT, it's Carr. Batted by the linebacker, but still adjusts and makes the catch. Touchdown Raiders! Make it 4 touchdown passes now for Derek Carr. And the Raiders are able to add on to their first half lead. Carlson now to add the extra point. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. Is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now back to throw. And his throw here is incomplete.
Well, this is a half of not just the coverage, but the entire defense is setting the tone in this game.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Back to throw. He finds his man complete. That's Connor. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He finds his man complete. That's Connor. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Now a play fake here on first down. And going deep for Hill.
He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Raiders are going to take over at their own 13-yard line.
A tough adjustment to the NFL throughout his rookie season, and his problem with turnovers is only exacerbated by his early showing today. That's a couple for him here in this first half, and he's cleared the double-digit mark for the entire season.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway.
Pulls it in at the 13. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. The first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football, that could be the decisive blow in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it. That's how they're approaching it.
They keep it on the ground. White again. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
The way things have gone in this one, the running game's been something of an afterthought, and that's not been too bad for them, has it?
Yeah, the offensive returns have been good, but I guess we figured he in the ground game would be a bit more involved. They'll try to pick this up on the ground with White. Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he'll punt it away for the second time. 46 on his first kick, this one in that neighborhood as well. A 44-yard punt. They're going to wind up losing yardage on the return, though. And the Dolphins' drive will start deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They'll look to throw here. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete.
He's going to pick up the 1st down and then some.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A very well-executed play. It goes for 29 yards.
Well, the margin on that scoreboard, obviously, for them, it looks daunting. But I don't know, Charles. They're probably not focused on that right now. Maybe just chaining together a positive drive with plays like we just saw, giving themselves something to build on?
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And what they have to be careful of is getting glued to that scoreboard, trying to do too much. Because if you do that, you're all but guaranteed to start making mistakes. Just focus on one play at a time and make each one successful.
Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long?
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there. In this passing game, it just can't get off the ground. And that play, it wound up losing yardage.
And he's going to be intercepted for the third time thus far. Picked up by Sean Murphy-Bunting. And the Raiders are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50.
Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ballgame.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's the guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
Here's Carr to throw. And that's complete to Adams. And some room to run now. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
Well, those backups on the sideline, they got to be eagerly anticipating the fourth quarter upcoming. Look at the size of the lead, how they're moving the football. This defense really struggling and giving up plays like we just saw.
Yeah, the Stars have certainly done all they've needed to in this one, haven't they? But my question is, will he be able to resist the urge to continue to run things up a bit and get his main guys a few bonus stats before he calls them off the field?
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Up the middle they go. Goodson, and only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Now Carr.
Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
So Carr will depart, and on comes the Raider kicker Daniel Carlson for the field goal try. It'll come from the right hash. It's a 47-yard attempt.
The kick by Carlson is good. So after 4 touchdowns in the game for this offense, this time they're forced into taking the 3.
But you did mention 4 touchdowns, right? So 4 out of 5, not too bad. I think that's a pretty good record for them.
And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He'll get that one complete to Connor. And out across midfield down to the 45. The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards. Now look, you're not going to be able to get this all back at once, but that certainly helps.
So you're saying 3 yards in a cloud of dust, not the strategy?
I go aerial attack.
Yeah, I think that's what has to happen. And if you're going to run it, you need to break off big chunks. We just saw a big play right there. They need plenty of those.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
No, that wasn't an explosive run. That wasn't one that took it all the way to the house. But, boy, for a team that's had trouble running it the entire game, that's the kind of run they need, hopefully, to get themselves kick-started.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Buddy Johnson came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Oh, you can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
Trying to lay one up deep, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
But we saw that they had a lot of success last week throwing the football, but that hasn't translated to this week. But with his team behind, I don't expect him to back off. I expect him to keep firing.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He is going to find Hill here. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A big pickup there, 20 yards as they convert on 4th. Both sides were holding their breath there on that 4th down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the first down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front. But somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack to the 27-yard line.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Ninth play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile. He'll drop to throw. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. And the Raiders are going to get the football here at their own 23. Well, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game. Go to the press conference, meet it head on, and show your teammates you're ready to shoulder what happened today, and you'll be ready for the next game. And if he can do that as a rookie, that's a great sign of maturity.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. They'll try the right side here with White. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. And a nice run to get him past the original line of scrimmage. A gain of 7. It's 2nd and 8 now. And I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off the game.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
The CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a fourth down. Well done.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Las Vegas.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Their mini two-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. They'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. They'll drop to throw.
Got an open man finding Hill on the comeback route. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
First down, Dolphins.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. Room here to run.
And he's going to be out of bounds here all the way down inside the 10. 89 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
So he nearly took it the distance, gets him down inside the 10 for a 1st and goal.
I'd love to be in his head right now because is he rewarding himself for a great run or is he kicking himself because he didn't get all the way to the goal line?
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
So now from half the distance closer, here's 1st and goal. Got his tight end. That's complete. It's Connor. Touchdown, Dolphins.
Tanner Connor, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that'll cut the lead back down to 21.
Dolphins 10. Jason Sanders to kick off for Miami.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
Pulls it in at the 13. And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Well, the win for them at this point seems pretty assured. I mean, still a decent amount of time left here in the fourth quarter, Charles, but you got the football, you're up 3 scores. They have to be feeling really good about where they're at.
I love your observation skills, partner, because I think you saw them charge onto the field fired up about another chance to get into the end zone. Looks to me like this group is ready to crush any hope left on the opposing sideline, and they want to do it with some gusto, too.
They go with White on the counter. Taken down at the 47-yard line.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. Zamir White with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Raiders look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll increase their lead to 28. Is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted. And, my goodness, another interception. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football. Well, there's 2 sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for them. That's tough, but man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard. But also, you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
Second down, Jacobs once more. They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36.
If you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down. Carr now to throw. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Cannon. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Quite the turnaround from a week ago where he threw 4 interceptions. He hasn't had an interception this game, and he told us during the week, my goal, goose egg. He's achieving that so far.
And what we're seeing is a guy that you can win with, all right? Because anyone who can make that type of an adjustment and shake off a really horrendous week the week before and come back and play mistake-free football to this point, yeah, that's a guy I want to play with, that's for sure.
So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10.
running out of the gun with White. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
This offense has had a lot to like in this game. I don't know that last play, though, is going to make the highlight reel.
It's not going to make the highlight reel, but it will be the focus of the film session that the team has to sit through. I've sat through those before. Never any fun. You're always excited about your good plays, and they actually fast forward through those. All right, that was good. All right, great. They get to the bad ones and really illuminate them. Not cool.
3 yards on the pickup there, but they've only got it back to 3rd and 10.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Throwing his car on 3rd down. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Not much defensive resistance on that drive. Really, Charles, the way this offense has been humming, they haven't faced much defensive resistance the entire game.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that one team, their defense did not wake up and make it to the stadium for this one. There may be some major changes on that side of the ball when we see them the next time out.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. On as the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away.
And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
102 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
He's done his part sailing past the century mark on the ground with rushing yardage, but his team, a different story.
Yeah, they're down big in this ball game, so sometimes you wonder to yourself how much of that is him with a great performance and how much of that is the defense just loosening up because they have a big lead.
So that run play nullified by the holding call on the tight end.
Yeah, I just think he needs to get off the ball a lot quicker and get into the block a little bit more effectively. Then he doesn't have to reach and grab and try and hold on.
Now whistles and a flag, and I believe the Dolphin got going a little early. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And the Raiders have got him. Chandler Jones in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has, but in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. Likewise, he got in his defense.